On a cold November night in 1974, a quiet suburban home in Long Island became the center of one of the most horrifying mysteries in American history. A family found murdered a lone Survivor, and a house that, for decades, has refused to let its secrets die. This is the true story of the Amityville Horror. Chapter 1. The House on Ocean Avenue, just 30 miles from New York City. The village of Amityville had always been the picture of calm, neat lawns, sailboats drifting on the canal, families who knew each other by name. But at 112 Ocean Avenue, something felt different. Even before the tragedy, neighbors said the house always had a strange energy. Beautiful, yes, but unsettling. The kind of place you drive past at night a little faster than usual, but none of them could imagine what would happen inside its walls. Chapter 2. The murders. On the night of November 13, 1974, that unsettling feeling turned into a gruesome reality. The next day, around 6:30 p.m., DeFeo burst into a local bar, Henry's, screaming for help, claiming his family had been shot. When police arrived, they found a scene of absolute horror. Each victim lay face down in their bed, with no signs of a struggle, no sedatives in their system. DeFeo's story quickly unraveled. His initial claims of a mob hit fell apart under questioning. Within 48 hours, he confessed, reportedly telling detectives, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." He was tried and convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder, sentenced to 6 concurrent sentences of 25 years to life. But during his trial, a new, more sinister narrative began to emerge. DeFeo claimed he heard voices, disembodied whispers that urged him to kill. He spoke of a dark, shadowy figure that commanded him. Was this the desperate plea of a killer, or the first hint that the evil wasn't just inside Ronald DeFeo Jr., but inside the house itself? The prosecution dismissed it as a failed insanity plea. The house on Ocean Avenue, however, was just beginning to tell its story. Chapter 3. The Lutz family. Just over a year later, in December 1975, the house found new owners. George and Kathy Lutz, a young couple with 3 children, saw the Grand Dutch Colonial as a dream come true. They knew about the murders. Of course, it was impossible not to. But the shockingly low price of $80,000 was too good to pass up. They believed they could fill the home with new, happy memories, cleansing it of its dark past. They were tragically mistaken. Their dream turned into a nightmare almost immediately. From the day they moved in, a series of inexplicable and terrifying events began to unfold, escalating with each passing day. It started small. Strange odors, cold spots in rooms, doors and windows opening and closing on their own. George would wake up inexplicably at 3:15 a.m. every morning, the exact time of the DeFeo murders, feeling a bone-deep chill that had nothing to do with the winter air. The family priest, Father Ray Pecoretto, came to bless the house on their move-in day. As he sprinkled holy water in one of the upstairs bedrooms, he claimed to have heard a deep, masculine voice command him to get out. The paranormal activity intensified. Swarms of flies appeared in the dead of winter. A green, slime-like substance oozed from the walls and keyholes. Their youngest daughter, Missy, developed an imaginary friend named Jody, a pig-like entity with glowing red eyes, who she said lived in her room and could change shape. Chapter 4. Descent into madness. The house seemed to be exerting a malevolent influence on George Lutz, warping his personality. He became withdrawn, angry, and obsessed with the fireplace, spending hours staring into the flames, neglecting his family and business. He lost a significant amount of weight, and his health deteriorated rapidly. The phenomena grew more aggressive and more tangible. Objects flew across rooms. A crucifix on the wall inverted itself. Strange music and disembodied voices echoed through the halls. Desperate, the Lutzes tried to fight back. They attempted their own blessing, walking through the house, reciting the Lord's Prayer. Their dog seemed terrified of this red room, and the family felt a palpable sense of evil emanating from it. The final night was the climax of their terror. Banging sounds, as if from a marching band, shook the house. Furniture moved on its own. An unseen entity tore a door from its hinges. Chapter 5. The Legacy of Amityville. The story of the Lutz family's 28 Days of Terror became a media sensation. Jay Anson's 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, was an instant bestseller, followed by the blockbuster 1979 film. The Warrens conducted a seance, capturing a now-famous photograph of what appears to be a small boy with glowing eyes, peeking from a doorway, a spirit some believe to be one of the murdered DeFeo children. Well, skeptics and debunkers emerged, picking apart the Lutz's story, piece by piece. Ronald DeFeo's own lawyer, William Weber, claimed that he and the Lutzes had invented the entire story over several bottles of wine, hoping to create a lucrative book deal. He alleged they took elements of the DeFeo case and exaggerated them into a supernatural tale. Researchers pointed out inconsistencies: the lack of police reports, the absence of physical evidence for the slime or damage, and the fact that no prior or subsequent owners of the house reported any paranormal activity. Was it a genuine haunting, a mass delusion, or a calculated hoax? The truth remains buried under decades of conflicting accounts, lawsuits, and sensationalism. George and Kathy Lutz maintained the truth of their story until their deaths, submitting to lie detector tests, which they reportedly passed. Others involved, like Father Pecoraro, supported their claims, while figures like William Weber vehemently denied them. Today, the house has been renovated, its iconic quarter-moon windows replaced, and its address changed to protect the privacy of its current residents. But the legend endures. The Amityville Horror has become a cornerstone of modern folklore, a chilling tale that blurs the line between fact and fiction, reality and the supernatural. It forces us to ask a terrifying question. Can a place be born of evil? Can a house hold on to the memory of a tragedy and turn it into a malevolent force? Whether a hoax or a true tale of demonic possession, the story of what happened at 112 Ocean Avenue serves as a dark and enduring reminder. Some houses are just wood and nails, but others hold secrets. They have a history, a memory, and sometimes a hunger. And for a house like the one in Amityville, the story never truly ends.